Thank you for listening to ShulchanAruch.com.
Is Yichud permitted between siblings, between a brother and sister? A question that to some may sound kind of strange, kind of extreme, but as always we will analyze this from a pure halachic perspective and then take a look at the practical guidelines for today. So as we know that there is a prohibition, some say biblical, some rabbinical, to be alone with an erva. Now in general in the laws of Arayas, a sister, mother, daughter, granddaughter, grandmother, they're all listed as ervas. But the question is, which ervas amongst the ervas, which relatives amongst the erva relatives are included in the prohibition of Yichud? All of them? You can't have Yichud with your mother? So we have a clear Mishnah in Maseches Kedushin, page 80b, which states that it is permitted for a man to be together alone with his mother or daughter. And as the Gemara later explains in 81b, likewise written in the Yerushalmi in Saita 1b, that it is permitted to live with them even permanently alone. There is no restrictions of Yichud with a mother or daughter. Now what about a sister? The Mishnah makes no mention of a sister. So we find regarding this a debate in the Gemara in Kedushin 81b. Rav Asi is of the opinion that it is permitted to have Yichud with a sister temporarily. By a mother or daughter, you can even live with them your whole life alone. But with a sister, you can only have temporary Yichud, but at least temporary Yichud is permitted. Shmuel, however, there is of the opinion that not only is it forbidden to have Yichud with a sister, but he even reinterprets the Mishnah in a different way to explain that it's even forbidden to have temporary Yichud even with a mother or daughter. Before we go into how we rule practically, let's explain a little bit of the background of this dispute, the logic and reasons. On the one hand, one can argue, since a mother, sister, daughter are all arayas, so Yichud should be forbidden with them. What's the difference? On the other hand, we have two reasons why we should be lenient with Yichud with these relatives. Number one, as we know, Anshe Knesset Agdela came along in the times of the Second Temple, as brought in the Gemara in Sanhedrin and Yuma, and destroyed and killed, eradicated the Yetzer Hara for incest, of the biblical sense. And even though it's still found today, it's not in normality that someone has such feelings. So that's one reason to make an exception to permit Yichud with these relatives. Another reason is because how are you supposed to live if you can't live even with your family? So these are the reasons behind the debate. So how do we rule? Practically regarding a mother and daughter, it's a clear ruling in all the Rishonim and Poskim, unlike Shmuel, that it's permitted to have Yichud with them. But regarding a sister, which is our case example, this is debated amongst the Rishonim and Poskim. A modest but not insignificant list of Poskim rule that, like Shmuel, that it is forbidden to have Yichud with a sister. Even temporary Yichud. Even for 5 minutes, for an hour, forbidden. So is the opinion of the Beis Shmuel in Shulchan Aruch Even HaEzer 2014, the Radbaz Yosef Eimitz, the Ben Ish Chai, in the Sefer Yosef Chai shaped in 3 rules, that the main opinion follows that it's forbidden to have Yichud with a sister. And so is the simple implication of the Rambam, Torah, and Mechaber, who all omit the allowance of having Yichud with a sister. And so is also implied from the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, who also omits the allowance with a sister. Nonetheless, the vast majority of Poskim, Rishonim and Achreinim all rule that temporary Yichud with a sister is permissible, meaning they rule like Rav Asi. So first of so is a clear ruling in the Yerushalmi Saita 1b, and so rules the Chalkas Machoikik, the Rashal, the Prisha, the Rosh, the Smak, the Ran, the Mishnah Lamelech, the Chochmas Adam, the Aruch HaShulchan, the Chavetz Chaim in the Sefer Nidchi Yisrael, the Mezgerech HaShulchan, and many other Achreinim. And practically, halacha l'maisa, this is how we rule. We rule that it is permitted for siblings of opposite gender to remain in temporary yichud together. And this is the custom of all Jewry. Nevertheless, as many of the permitting poskim conclude, those who are stringent to not have even temporary yichud with a sibling are blessed. So concludes the Chalkas Mechoikik, the Rosh, the Chochmas Adam, Mizgeres HaShulchan, and others. And that this especially applies towards a promiscuous generation. Based on all the above, we can conclude the following advice for parents in regards to leaving their kids alone of opposite gender. While from the letter of the law, as we stated, it is permitted for children of opposite gender to remain alone by themselves without parental or adult supervision, there is no isser of yichud from the letter of the law. Nonetheless, one who is careful to avoid doing so is blessed. And therefore it's proper to instruct children to never lock the door of their room when a child of the opposite gender, a sibling of the opposite gender, is there. So the parent will always have access to open the door and see what's going on. All of the above especially applies during the pubescent or prepubescent years of a child's growth, in which raging hormones can make the unpredictable occur, and parents have to be extra careful when they leave their children alone of opposite gender at this time. And while it is not a halachic prohibition, as we said before, one who is careful is blessed, and so is the advice of experienced child psychologists, that during the pubescent years it is proper to not allow the children of opposite gender to remain alone together. So if you need to go out, get a babysitter. And as we said, the Torah promises a blessing, and that blessing is an impediment to prevent anything bad from chas v'shalom occurring. In Meretz Hashem, in part 2 of this lesson, we will discuss what is the definition of temporary versus permanent yichud. How long is too long that becomes defined as permanent and then becomes forbidden according to all opinions? All this coming up in part 2.
Thank you for listening to ShulchanAruch.com. Our free services of making Torah knowledge available to the public depends on donors like you. Please help us continue our work through making even a small contribution at ShulchanAruch.com under the Daily Halacha Dedication section or in the subscription page. Also, check out our online courses and many sefarim available for purchase that will both enhance your Torah knowledge and help support our work.